Alright folks, I'm gonna tell you the spoiler review for Spider-Man No Way Home. Like always, and warning, if you haven't seen the film for yourself, stop watching this video because I'm about to tell you some serious spoilers. So yeah, if you haven't seen the movie, please exit the video immediately. Sorry. But, if you have seen the movie already, enjoy the video. To say the truth out of my chest, I don't care which one's better. I don't care if one's better than the other. But it doesn't matter. I'm a true Spider-Man fan. For me, I love all three of them as a 10 out of 10 Spider-Man. Especially with Andrew Garfield. Now, before I even talk about Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in this film, which can easily take up this entire video, let's talk about the villains. The villains were very good in this film. Especially, like, during the film, we see the Lizard talking to Electro, like, explain who Electro is, and Norman and Dr. Octavius talking about Harry Oz, talking about Green Goblin, yeah. And one of my favorite parts about this scene is the villains interacting with each other while in Doctor Strange's jail, or whatever it's called. My favorite scene is where Electro and Sandman were talking to each other, like Sandman told Electro, "How did you turn into electric?" And Electro said, "I fell into a van with electric eels," and Sandman said, "I fell into electric sand." And yeah, I really love how they did the interactions together. That is actually pretty cool. Now, as we saw the posters, I personally loved it better if Green Goblin had his mask in the entire movie, but I'm alright without it. I mean, that shot with him was really beautiful. And to be honest, the Green Goblin, of course you call it the Sam Raimi Green Goblin, but this Green Goblin, let me tell you, he absolutely crushed it again in his role. For some people, this is what they said. Even without his mask, the Green Goblin looks even more terrifying without his mask. And as the Green Goblin wasn't even bleeding, as he was getting punched very hard by Tobey Maguire, that is still terrifying. Like, the way he smiles and everything. Very awesome. Alright, let's get to one more person before we talk about the main three. Now, about Daredevil and Spider-Man No Way Home. So it turns out he was actually in it by the looks of it, and considering he wasn't in his suit, this was his suit. I've never seen the Netflix series before. I heard it was pretty popular. Okay, this Daredevil does look pretty cool. He almost looks like Batman, even though people compare him to Batman. I wonder how many people love his Netflix series. God damn, everyone loves him. Alright, time for one more scene, which was very sad, but it led us straight to Andrew and Tobey. Aunt May's death broke my heart in the inside of my body. The entire theater where I was at was immediately silent when Aunt May died. And the way Tom Holland was crying was very emotional. Like, they weren't actually screwing around when they said Spider-Man No Way Home is going to be emotional. And yeah, I'm gonna say, even though she wasn't everyone's favorite Aunt May, I could say, in my opinion, she's my second favorite Aunt May, close to the Amazing Spider-Man Aunt May and Tobey Maguire's Aunt May. For me, I'm definitely gonna miss her character, especially with the funeral scene. I'm going to miss her big time. Alright guys, this is it. I'm gonna tell you the Andrew and Tobey thing. Yes. This was it. The leaks were real, the rumors were true, and Marvel didn't disappoint us all. They brought back both Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. The way how they brought back Tobey Andrew Garfield was pretty awesome and cool at the same time, and hilarious. Like, so Andrew came out of the portal first, considering everyone loves him, and when Andrew took off his mask and came out of the portal, everyone in my theater were like roaring of joy. Oh yeah, and the same thing with Tobey Maguire, and the way Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield both shot webs at each other was very, very amazing. The emotional part where both Andrew and Tobey found Tom Holland after Tom's Aunt May died was very emotional too. Like, Tobey said he wanted to kill the killer, but that didn't like go well for him. Andrew still was upset after losing Gwen, and yeah. Then when we got to the lab scene and the part where Tobey and Andrew were on those pole things was amazing. Like, both Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland were like telling Tobey, so wait, you shoot webs from your wrists and you have web blood and stuff? And yeah, that scene, I'm not gonna lie, that was actually very, very cool by the looks of it. And my favorite part was where Andrew Garfield cracks Tobey Maguire's back, like, my back. That part was pretty awesome and hilarious. So yeah, as for the final battle, it was a solid 10 out of 10, beating Avengers Endgame out of the ocean. And yeah. Oh, and also, the way Andrew Garfield saved MJ, like Tom Holland's MJ, was very magnificent, like, very beautiful. So that means Andrew Garfield has learned from his mistakes, like after, like, Gwen died. So I believe the mistake he learned was never shoot webs to catch her. That's, like, rule number 1. So yeah, I'm just glad Andrew got a chance to shine in this film. Like, when the Spider-Man were talking, Tobey said, you're amazing, like, to Andrew. That has got to be the most awesomest thing ever. During the final battle, as we saw Tom Holland being, like, the absolute living crap out of out of Green Goblin, and Tom Holland was getting ready to kill Green Goblin, then Tobey stopped him, and he's like, that's not the way. And of course, Tobey gets stabbed in the back, but thankfully, he survived. And he said in quote, he's been stabbed before. For those that are new to my channel and are like, how did he get stabbed? How was he stabbed for? Allow me to show you a recap. So yeah, here's the part where say look a little closer. And yeah, that's what I mean by stabbed before. During the ending, of course, we see, like, Doctor Strange and Spider-Man, like, confirming that Spider-Man's identity will be forgotten permanently. So sadly, during the ending, Ned and MJ finally forgot that Peter was Spider-Man. Even never even met Peter, which I'm sure they'll probably meet each other in the future. And of course, Tobey and Andrew got sent back to their home worlds along with the villains. As for the ending, we finally see Tom Holland get his very own apartment, just like the actual Spider-Man films. And yeah, that was pretty cool. Now, during the ending, where he was doing the final scene, Tom Holland finally made his iconic classic suit. Now, people were saying it's like based on Andrew and Tobey's, and as we saw the iconic classic suit, it was very hard, and I couldn't see the logo or the back logo. But I believe the front logo looked like Tobey's logo. I couldn't even tell. Or it might have been the Spider-Man PS4 logo. Like, I couldn't tell because Spider-Man was moving too fast. But soon as we get Spider-Man No Way Home on, like, store shelves or digital download, we will finally see what it looks like eventually. Because when I get the classic suit, I really want to wear that mask I got off eBay with the classic suit. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Especially the ending credit scene where we see all 3 Spider-Men, like, in 2D animation. Speaking of end credits, let's talk about post-credit scene. I know this is a con, but it's not really that. It doesn't really matter. The ending, we see Venom talk about the Avengers and Thanos, but sadly Venom gets to his homeworld. But as he left the coin on the table, it had his symbiote, which means we might see Tom Holland Spider-Man get the black suit eventually. We don't know yet, but we'll soon see. And of course, the trailer for Doctor Strange 2, which sounds very, very exciting by the looks of it. And of course, yes, it's directed by Sam Raimi. So yeah, Doctor Strange 2 and the Multiverse of Madness is confirmed. So yeah, we saw the trailer, me and my twin sister and her friend. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Of course, it's confirmed we're gonna see Scarlet Witch and I think Loki. I'm not sure about that, but yeah. However, since it's directed by Sam Raimi, there might be a 50% chance or a 40% chance we might see Tobey Maguire again in the film. And hopefully Andrew Garfield. In the end, I give the movie a humongous 10 out of 10 masterpiece with a golden approval. And yeah, now there's going to be questions remain like, what's going to happen to Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield after that film? Will they finally make the Amazing Spider-Man 3? Will Spider-Man 4 happen? What's going to happen in the future? To that, I'm not certainly sure yet. Now, before I end this video completely, here's one more Spider-Man actor I was told to give tribute to, and that person is right. Okay, I know this Spider-Man isn't everyone's cup of tea, but yeah, I've been requested to do a video about him, which I'll do eventually. Now, I will admit, I understand a lot of people, hated this Spider-Man movie or the other stuff. I mean, true. The movie wasn't that perfect, but at least some fans enjoyed it, and I respect them for that. For me, Spider-Man 1977 was a good movie. And also, I'm gonna say this right here and right now. I would love to get my hands on this iconic, awesome, classic suit. So, why am I talking about this Spider-Man and other stuff? Well, for one, I'm gonna get a suit inspired by him and to give him, tribute and thank you. Even though his movie was a little bit terrible, I might see it eventually, but yeah, I'll give Nicholas a lot of respect. So all I need to do is save up my money to get the Japanese Spider-Man suit, select my size, and once I finally get it, I'll probably make the eyes modified to look like this, but except the lenses right here, the white part, will have the exact dots just like the actual suit. Or alternatively, I'll make my own version or vision and yeah. But yeah, other than that, once I save up my cash, I will get this Spider-Man suit for myself and maybe, and hopefully, get the eyes to come. Or maybe I'll do a YouTube vote for it while we get it. So yeah, the white part of the classic suit will be made out of this part, whatever it is. So yeah, the eyes will be a mashup between this, the metal thing will be the white part, while the rest will be the same shape. So you can probably vision that right now. In my own name, I still respect this Spider-Man. As its very own Spider-Man, I still respect it.
Are you freaking kidding me, Sony? We just spent all that money just so Tom Holland can have a brighter future.
I suppose Sony has learned their lesson. Sequels are better than remakes. Just like Nintendo and Microsoft, Sony is a massive company that has, very much their own, spin-off companies as well. And the main one that some people hate and despise and also love is Sony Pictures. Or just the entire company. So ever since Ghostbusters 2016 and the day they fired Andrew Garfield, that day everyone was like, we never want to see Sony ever again or watch another video. I can't say I blame them. Hell, I never even wanted to see another Sony ever since then. And truthfully, firing Andrew Garfield was the day I left Sony forever. And lost their trust permanently. So it finally took about some time for Sony to finally get their shit together, finally face a bunch of backlashes, apologizing to insulting the fans, what the hell were you thinking when Ghostbusters came out, and yeah. And now Sony has finally accomplished a couple things that we wanted from them. Fan service, listening to fans, understanding fans better. Don't goof off and no more reboots. Sequels are better than reboots. Need more examples? I think there's another one I couldn't come up with. Oh yeah, fan service. Ghostbusters Afterlife was dedicated for the old school fans, and that movie was very, very successful for listening to fans and wanting the sequel they wanted after all those years. Now that No Way Home got the same treatment, I can safely say that Sony finally understood the truth and learned from their mistakes from the past. Listening to fans and fan service helps make their movies 10 times better. And by the looks of it, I think I can safely say Spider-Man will stay in the MCU, like, permanently or forever, at least until something happens. Like, in reality, Marvel owns the character rights, and yeah. Now for a final, question. Has Sony finally redeemed themselves? Or not? I can say yes. For now. I mean, as long as Sony doesn't screw up any more stuff, it should be fine. After all, I think Sony does deserve a second chance. I mean, yeah. Although, don't put all of their trust. I'm not going to put all my trust into Sony for life just yet. Remember, there are two people at Sony I really hate and despise. What the hell happened to your hair? Alright, it may seem like we're finally, and Sony has finally redeemed themselves, but I don't trust them, and we are not out of the woods yet. Sony's Amy Pascal and Avery M still remain. So, what's the big deal with both of them? What are they doing wrong? Well, you see, Sony is still good on its own, but this dude and Amy are absolute dicks. I'm sorry, but it's true. Your Fatboy69 and Kyle Bell told me everything about him. Your Fatboy69 told me not only that, but Sony is buying a lot of anime companies and dub studios, and they add a lot of censoring and SJW shit in them. And to that, your Fatboy has a point. Just when I was starting to see Uncharted after seeing that trailer. So if you haven't seen this video, please check it out. I'm not putting my entire trust into Sony yet. As for PlayStation, yeah, they're basically the same thing. For me, I love the PS4 better because it had so much potential back in the day, and yeah. I do still despise Sony after they fired Andrew and Ghostbusters. So, I'm not going to put my entire trust into them yet. All we can do now is wait and see, how many good Spider-Mans we get without, anyone screwing up anything from the get-go. Plus, I mean, it's not like Sony could do jack shit anyway while Avery M and Amy Pascal's there. I mean, as long as no directors are affiliated with them, just like Kathleen Kennedy with Star Wars, it should be fine. For example, the Obi-Wan Kenobi director is the same gal that directed The Mandalorian, which was very successful along with fan service, with John and the other helpful Lucasfilm loyalists. So, hopefully, I just really, really hope Sony doesn't do anything stupid with the Spider-Man franchise or with Tom Holland. If you got my article from the community post I posted, and yeah, we need to give Tom Holland some time and rest to be with his family. I don't want, Sony to, milk him too much, and yeah. So, other than that, all we can do now is just wait and hope and find out what's going to happen now. Just please, I just really hope Sony doesn't, do any more, crap to Tom Holland. I mean, I'm not sure, they'll, treat Tom Holland crap anytime soon, considering Disney has their sharp eye on Tom Holland and Spider-Man stuff, and yeah. One of my favorite parts about the whole drama situation is Bob Iger saving Tom Holland. Just for the record, I love Bob Iger better than the other Bob. You know what I mean. So yeah, other than that, Spider-Man No Way Home is a masterpiece, and I only trust Sony a tiny bit for now. Like, even though they're still a pain in the ass, I'm just gonna, like, have good faith in them as long as they don't, like, screw up or completely screw up anything else. It should be fine. Like, just don't screw up any more shit, Sony. And yeah, other than that, hope you guys liked this video. Subscribe for more, and I will see you guys in the next video. For those that are new to my channel and just saw this video, one more thing. The only one thing I like about Sony is Insomniac games. I'm a PC, an Xbox fan, and a Nintendo fan. Just to let you new guys know. Other than that, peace out.
You know, I guess one person can make a difference. Enough said.